Hello everyone, welcome back to your favorite show for all things gaming and rarely tech related, Gentoo. As always, we're your hosts, John Taylor
and Brad Pearson.
This week in gaming news, we have a new remaster, another entry in a classic series, and so much more.
First up is Alan Wake Remastered. This title includes the main game as well as its two separate story expansions, The Signal and The Rider, all rendered in new 4K visuals. The game's cutscenes, quirky cast of characters, and majestic Pacific Northwest vistas have all been enhanced for a visual impact that matches its unnerving atmosphere. Alan Wake Remasters emerges from the darkness on October 5th for PC, Xbox, PS4, and PS5. Oh, that's, yeah. Whoops.
Next up is Far Cry 6. The 9th entry in the Far Cry series has you playing as Danny Rojas. You can either choose to play as a male or female at the beginning of the game. Rojas leaves the army with the aim of escaping the island, but when Castillo's forces murders many innocents in front of them, Rojas decides enough is enough and joins the revolutionaries. Help lead an army on October 7th when Far Cry 6 drops for PC, Xbox, PS4, PS5, and Stadia.
Well, that's it for game releases for this week. Make sure to check in next Monday for even more gaming news. Up next, we have Brandon with Lights Out. See you guys next week.
Hello everyone, Brandon here, and welcome back to another episode of Lights Out, where I'll be reviewing a variety of horror games for you every week. In this week's episode, we'll be taking a look at an update that was done to Phasmophobia, a game that I reviewed in the inaugural episode of the show. To refresh your minds a little, Phasmophobia is an investigative horror game developed and published by KNWT Games and was released in September 2020. The objective of the game is to investigate locations using ghost hunting equipment to find evidence of paranormal activity. To commemorate the game's success over the past year, KNWT Games released a 1-year anniversary update that includes a revamp of the Investigator Journal, new features, and a new single-player mode. A big part of this update is what KNWT Games did to the journal. The journal is what you use to record evidence found while investigating the location you picked. The update makes the journal easier to use and navigate. Here's the journal before the update, and here's the journal after the update. Doesn't it look so much better? I think it's so much easier to navigate. I love the bookmarks that it gives you, and I love how you can cross out evidence and access the pause menu now through the journal itself, which is very easy, very, very easy. Phasmophobia also released an offline single-player mode in this update. Before this update, players would have to make a private lobby to play by themselves, but they needed internet connection still. So now if you're having internet issues or want to play by yourself, this offline mode can make it a little bit easier for you. Phasmophobia also made some changes to the VR and to just the game in general. So for the VR, they changed the VR mute button to the pause button for all controllers. Your controller will vibrate when toggling the mute. They also fixed an exploit where you could glitch your head inside something to make the ghost not see you. They fixed several safe spots where you could stand on something and the ghost couldn't reach you. And they fixed a bug where the Ghost Whisper paranormal sound was staying active on the parabolic microphone. Before we end the episode, fun fact, while I was roaming around the lobby to see if there was anything cool to look at, I found out that you can play basketball while waiting. I thought that was a really cool thing they put into the game, but they make it really hard to shoot the ball. You almost have to look up all the way and just have it, just float in. But it's really cool. They keep count of the points and everything, and you can play with other people, I guess, try to do 1v1s and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned next week when I review Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. And don't forget to keep your lights on.
Hey guys, it's Lauren Liberty, and this is the Liberty Game Gauntlet, a show where we spin a wheel and we get a completely random game. So let's see what we get this week. The World Next Door. Okay, here's the game. It looks really interesting and well made, actually. It only has 145 reviews, but it's very positive. So I'm actually really excited to play this right now.
Long story short, there's this portal that connects Earth and Embers, the two worlds. It opens up once a century for a day. There used to be wars and stuff fought over it, but now there's peace and a thing called the festival. A lottery is held, and a select number of people get a crossover to the other world to just experience it for a day and then go back. Our main character, Jude, won this lottery.
Is this Liza? Liza, there you are! Now that you spent an entire day on another planet,
Ascenda?
what do you think of Embers? I mean, you're so cool. Thanks, I know I am. And so weird. Okay. What's your favorite thing about humans? I love the way they smell. Seriously, Jude, don't worry. I promise I'll have you back before the portal closes. Trust me. Why do I have a feeling that the portal is going to close? And I am not going to make it back. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. I really like this. Huh, there we go. I'm so good at this. This is interesting. I like how this is. This is fast-paced. Oh, what was that thing? That thing was a grievance. It used to be emmers, but now they're changed. The festival is over. The portal. Those baby hands? Look like baby hands. I'm not a baby. I think I'm supposed to run. I don't know the map. I wish I was not so bad at this. That was very anticlimactic. So this game was really cool. I like it a lot. I'll definitely keep playing it. Really cute game. It has a cute art style. It's kind of fun to play. Probably with more time, I'd get better at it. But I totally recommend it. So that's all for today. See you guys next week. Signing off.
Hello everyone and welcome to From Souls with Love. I'm Brad, and this is my love letter to the Dark Souls franchise and the subgenre games known as Souls-likes. This week, I will be covering Remnants from the Trash. Ashes. You are a wandering survivor, set out to destroy an interdimensional evil known as the Root, and try to rebuild humanity and take back what was lost from the Root invasion. Now, my very first impression of this game was that it was a mix of Dark Souls and The Division in terms of gameplay, in which it's usually said to be Dark Souls with guns. The gameplay and combat are alright. It mainly consists of rolling, shooting some more, not being able to take any cover, whack some stuff, and possibly dying along the way. The boss fights are pretty fun encounters as well. However, I got the feeling that they are kind of like bullet sponges, and all you really need to do for the fights are stand far away, shoot, and move accordingly. I guess I'm just so used to being closer to a boss with a sword and shield, and having to strategize where exactly I'm located in comparison to them. Now, leveling up skills and gathering armor sets is probably one of my favorite parts of this game. Each armor piece has a unique ability attached with it, and the more pieces of that armor set that you have, the better the abilities will function. Now, this is where this episode's gonna get a little bit controversial. The rough parts about this game. Now, these are all opinions, so please don't go hating on me because I have opinions. You have your opinions, and I have my opinions. Okay, enough saying opinions. The rough part about this game for me is I did not have fun playing by myself. Now, Remnants is definitely a game that should be played with friends, with the game allowing for 3-player co-op. But as someone who likes to play Souls-like games by themselves, the game probably was not as fun as it could have been for me. Another part about this game that I really did not like was the first area of this game. I just think it's really ugly and boring, and it kind of turned me off from wanting to play the game any further. I would make an ex-wife joke, but I don't think it's really appropriate. I think all in all, Remnants from the Ashes is probably a fun and enjoyable game that could easily be played for hundreds of hours. However, for me, I did not really enjoy the game. I think I'm just gonna stick with the swords and shields. And as always, thank you for watching. See you guys next week.
UAV overhead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Zooming through.
Welcome to Play with Cam, where you will learn how to kill in Call of Duty and how to win in Madden through live streams. Oh, and sometimes other things. Feel free to take notes. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Play with Cam. I'm Cameron Purvis. As you can see, we'll be going over the new Madden 22 today. I finally got some good Madden gameplay on stream. I'm super excited to share it with you guys. I think this is probably one of the best Madden games in a very long time. I haven't really been a fan of too many of the recent ones, so I should have a lot of fun gameplay to come in the future of this game. I'm super excited. Let's get into it. So the team I've been playing with the most on here lately is the Carolina Panthers. They're not the best team on here, but the way their team is built just fits my playing style really well. I use the Chiefs playbook. They have the best offensive playbook on here in my opinion. I use a multiple defense, which means I'm pretty versatile on defense. I can do a lot of different things. So let's see who I'll be playing against. The New England Patriots, wow, this is actually kind of a surprise. A lot of people don't really play with them anymore because Tom Brady left. They're just not what they used to be, not as good. This is actually my first time playing against them on this game. Interesting to see how I'll match up against them, but basically I'll just be covering big plays, turnovers, scoring plays, sacks, you know, the fun stuff. So right here, this guy just basically gifted me a sack. I'm not sure what he was doing. He dropped back super far and didn't attempt to throw the ball. Saw my guy coming right after him and he fumbled. I couldn't get it. He got it back, but it's like 3rd and 30. He has forever to go. He didn't convert the 3rd down, didn't convert the 4th down, and I got the ball in great field position on the 37. So here's my first play on offense, just a simple power run to the right. Got a lead blocker, number 45. He gets a great block downfield, like 20 yards downfield on the safety, which is the only guy that could have really tackled my guy. Make it in the end zone untouched. That play went as close to perfect as it could possibly have went. So this play right here was kind of crazy. I got the interception, did a crazy spin move to stop from going out of bounds, made it all the way to the end zone untouched to cap it off. I still just can't get over how I did that spin move and not go out of bounds. So here I get another interception, go down exactly where I caught it, get up to the line, run the same run play. This time I identify the middle linebacker, which means he'll be blocked anywhere he comes from. Double team the defensive tackle inside to create a gap inside, as you can see, juke outside. I'm gone all the way to the house again, untouched. And the way me and my friends play, and most people play everywhere in Madden, if you go down 21 points, anytime in the game's automatically over. You just got to take that loss. And I'm pretty sure this guy knew it. He ended up quitting. I got the win. Hope to see you guys next week. Thank you.
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Zooming through.
Hello everyone and welcome back to The Rundown, your weekly game show in which we go through a different game every week. I'm your host Garrett, and this week we're looking at Borderlands 2, originally released in 2012 and re-released with the Handsome Collection in 2015. Let's dive straight into it. In Borderlands 2, you follow a group of vault hunters trying to find a mysterious vault that hides treasures far beyond anyone's imagination. While trying to find the vault, you'll also fight back against Handsome Jack, the tyrannical leader of the fictional planet of Pandora, and take down his company known as Hyperion. Much like Enter the Gungeon from last week, Borderlands 2 has a phenomenal sense of humor and is not afraid to show itself off. Handsome Jack, the main villain of the game, is an arrogant and cocky jerk who will make fun of you at every chance he can, calling you names, making fun of you, making fun of your playstyle, calling you a wimp, and much more.
Hey, how did Bruckles suck? How's your day been, buddy? We haven't really talked much since I left you for dead. Hey, you think you'll freeze to death out there? No, probably not. Bandits will get you first. My day? Been pretty good. Just bought a pony made of diamonds. Yeah, because I'm rich. So, you know, that's cool. Goodbye.
On top of that, all the enemies in the game have funny lines of dialogue that just make you question and laugh out loud at how stupid and ridiculous the stuff that they say is. Not only is Handsome Jack the main antagonist of the game, but he's also one of the best antagonists of all of gaming. A lot of gamers and critics alike have said that he is one of the best. While he is arrogant and pretty much a jerk the whole entire game, he does come full circle at the end and has a reason for being the way that he is. Up next, like always, is the most important thing about every game, the gameplay itself. And Borderlands 2 does a great job of staying fresh and new even after it being 9 years old. The franchise as a whole also prides itself with having a ton of weapons. In Borderlands 3, for instance, I believe one of the taglines is over a gazillion guns. Now, I can't confirm that because gazillion is quite a large number if you haven't known that. But joking aside, there is a ton. Each playthrough, you will have something different each time, like Enter the Gungeon, for instance. Only levels will be laid out the same, but you'll have a different weapon every time. On top of your weapons, you have 4 characters to choose from. All 4 of these characters have 3 different skill trees to level up. The Gunzerker can rage out and deal tons of damage and go pretty much Rambo on all the enemies. Zero is a stealth-like sniper who can pick enemies off from a distance and turn invisible. There is a Siren that has mythical powers that can damage and harm your enemies. And of course you have a Commando who can throw up drones and cover for you and your teammates alike. Borderlands 2 is awesome multiplayer if you do have friends to play with. I sadly don't have any friends, I have no one to play it with. But if you do have friends, I would highly recommend playing it together, as it is a ton of fun to play. Finishing off today, I want to take a highlight on the presentation of the game. If you notice, the game has a really unique art style, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm kind of a comic book and graphic novel geek, and I really appreciate it going for something different. Also, it matches the humor of the game and just flows really well and doesn't look too bad for how old it is. It doesn't seem dated or whatnot in my own personal opinion, but you can disagree. That does it for me here at The Rundown. I'm your host, Garrett, and stick with me next week as we look at NHL 19.
Welcome back to this week's Hidden Gems in Gaming. This week we are taking a look at a very simple game that may not necessarily be a hidden gem in gaming, but luckily the decisions are up to me, so it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. This week we are taking a look at Bloons Tower Defense 6. Now I don't want to go into detail on how a tower defense game like this exactly works, but I will be brief. BTD, Bloons Tower Defense. This right here is a monkey, the main tower you use in this game. And using those monkeys, you must defend against the balloons, which can come in all different types of size, variation, camo, whatever it may be. Upgrade and strategize what monkeys you will use to beat the map. Simple enough. You start each map with some money, you then must survive and pop all the balloons to get more money to buy more monkeys, and as each rounds get increasingly difficult, get to the final round with all your hearts and you win. Bloons Tower Defense 6 is the 6th game in its series, which introduced a new 3D graphic layout to the game and brought a whole new game to the series with the introduction of BTD 6, adding heroes, new monkeys, new balloons, new powers, new maps, and so much more. Bloons Tower Defense has many games in its series, each adding more than the last, and I could really discuss all the games or I could just talk about this game, but today I'd like to focus on the most recent in the series, BTD 6, and compare that to the previous game, BTD 5, and show the difference between the two games and show that BTD 6 is really a whole other game compared to that of its predecessor. The whole series itself started back in 2007 as a browser game. As you probably have played one of these games before on an old school laptop, this game has evolved to something completely different from the last Bloons Tower Defense game that you may have played or seen. BTD 6 offers more than 50 maps to play, each adding their own difficulty, sub-game mode to complete. Compare that to BTD 5. BTD 5 offers more maps with more than 80 maps that you can play, but lacks in content of monkeys and balloons, and makes strategizing in the game a lot more simpler. BTD 6 released back in 2018, nearly over a decade since the series was created, as well as nearly 7 years since the release of its previous game BTD 5. These games were originally released on mobile devices, but soon after it arrived on PC for Steam, which received great praise as the reviews show overwhelmingly positive at 97% with over 100,000 reviews for BTD 6. Now you can kind of see what I'm saying when I say this might not be a hidden gem. With a price tag of only $9.99 and frequently goes on sale, this game is a steal. I mean an absolute steal. You can find it on Steam as well as your phone, which allows you to sync your data between devices so you can keep the same account and continue where you left off whenever you're on the go. Thank you guys for joining me on this week's Hidden Gems in Gaming. Tune in next week as we take a look at a jolly British game that I haven't touched since its release, but I've heard it's gotten better since then, and hopefully that's truthful. See you guys next week.
Is that it? Is that the
This
vigil?
man is a serious threat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Project Delta. This week we have
Adam Bochart.
Adam Bochart, and he's here to play Super Hot, the game where time only moves when you move. So, Adam, just go ahead and start playing. Try to get out of this sticky situation you seem to have got yourself into.
Well, so far so good. Okay, I've never felt more bad in my life. That was amazing. Oh, God. Yeah, so super realistic when you aren't good at the game, and I guess I have to start over now. But super jarring when you do get shot, which if you're me is quite often.
So tell me how KNWT has changed since you were in it. For the better, for the worse, anything.
Oh, I mean, we never had anything like this when I was in KNWT. I would have absolutely, I can't talk and get killed at the same time.
That's what the hard part is supposed to be.
No, like the fact that you guys are able to do VR. I remember coming on as a guest host, probably 3 years ago, the first time we ever did VR in any capacity. Now the fact that you guys are doing it every week is just incredible.
So tell me what it's like. Tell me about your experience being a professor.
It's a blast. Like I get paid to nerd out about my absolute favorite things, and occasionally my students will bring me on to play games like this, and I just get to be an idiot for like however long this segment is.
Now, what's been your favorite event that you've been a part of here at Northwest? It can be anything since when you were a student here, or anything as a professor that you've got to be a part of. What would you say is your number one? Nice.
Whatever just happened, that is my number one. No, I've technically been here. This is my 9th year. I've got to be a part of, I think, like 6 national championships between football and basketball. I'm staring at just a void right now. VR and VR, super meta. Gotten to go to Las Vegas, I think 3 times. It's such a cool place to work, such a cool place to be a student and to get to do stuff like this. So I couldn't see myself anywhere else.
So tell me, what was your first video game memory?
Oh, man. So I didn't have a console for the longest time. Oh, that's the guy that I just shot. So I had like Game Boy Advance, Madden NFL. Oh, there's people behind me. But the first console I remember getting was the original Xbox and playing Simpsons Hit and Run way later than I probably should have. And my parents didn't know that it was a pretty violent game.
Right.
They just thought it was Simpsons, so it would be like, you know, derpy, funny, whatever.
That's how it got under the radar.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, that was bad. So that turned into like Grand Theft Auto and me being able to buy my own consoles. And now I'm loving having every iteration of a PlayStation, as well as PSVR, which is where I played Super Hot for the first time. So I'm an avid gamer now.
So if you could choose one game that's not in VR to have in VR, what would you, like a built from the ground up VR game, what would you pick?
I would love to see a Minecraft port to VR, which I'm sure is already a thing.
They do actually, yeah.
Then I just need to get on that, because that is by far the most relaxing game I have ever played, which this is very much not.
Yeah, this seems like the opposite of Minecraft.
Hey, I'm looking good though.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to recommend for Super Hot is, like, yes, time moves slow as you do things. I would love to see that entire scene play out in real time, just with all the movements you do, just to make it look, you know, like you're Jackie Chan in an action movie or something.
Right. Well.
You get the knife, you get the other knife, you stab behind you. Oh, that actually worked. You need to end on that one.
Okay, that's what we'll end on. Looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Adam, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, anytime.
And you got any final words to add?
Yeah, none at all. This is the weirdest experience that I've ever done on Delta, so happy to do it.
All right.